It is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Who am I? I'm James. Who are you? You are you. We are here for another breathtaking episode of the show that won't go away. Yeah, I know. I get it. We have not done a show on Friday in weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And even though we take a couple Fridays off, the show's still here. Maybe it's gone away a little bit, but it's for a greater good. I'd like to think that when people like me or Dave or Andy or Dimitri or anyone who is a fixture on this show is on stage, essentially they're doing God's work. They're doing a commercial. They're providing an ad for the universe that is At Home with James every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on twitch.tv/athomewithjames. And I will say the fact that we have not done a Friday show, once we finish our broadcast week on a Wednesday, I feel such a longing for the viewers, the fan base, the audience that has been joining us on this itsy bitsy broadcast for the past and close to 2 years. There's that space between us. And I'm not talking about that truly atrocious Dave Matthews Band song. Can we talk about this? Dave Matthews sucks. He's talented. Look, he's a talented man. The man named his band after himself. He is not without talent. The music is, it's like you put that stuff on after you get dumped at a cottage in Kingston. Yeah, we're going up to the cottage with my family. I'm bringing my girlfriend for the first time. Then she dumps you at the cottage in Kingston. Leanne dumped me at the cottage in Kingston. Had to share a bed with my parents. Oh, I'm so sad. Better put on a CD. Puts a CD on. The space between us. Sucks, man. Look, when I started this show 2 years ago, I didn't think I'd be doing the opening spiel talking about how bad the Dave Matthews Band is. And I've been getting myself, frankly, into trouble talking about how bands aren't any good. For the people that have watched this show, you know that I have got some choice words and opinions on the Red Hot Chili Peppers. A couple weeks ago at a live show, told an audience member that I would refer to them as the Red Hot, and then I said a foul word that begins with an S, features an H, an I, two T's, and ends with a Y at the end, Peppers. This guy was foul to me for the rest of the night. This is the thing, I'm getting myself in trouble. I get feisty on this show, and I think I can go out into the world and gallivant, say whatever I want to people in their music. Next thing I know, someone's going to beat me up outside of a bar because I insulted Puddle of Mud or something like that. In any event, so good to see you here. I'm glad that we're filling the space between us. Who's on tonight's show? Well, much later on, you haven't seen him in a while for a variety of reasons. The first of which is because he has quit the show. Why? We'll get into that later on. But I have begged and pleaded down on my knees, Dimitri Kyres, please come back. Please come home. I need you. I need you. I need you. If you're seeing me do these air kisses, you're wondering, yeah, that makes sense why, James, you're so alone with kisses like that. Let me tell you. Dimitri's back tonight. He said, I'm only coming back under one condition, that you honor what you proposed about 4 weeks ago. I said, what did I propose? I come up with all these things for the show, and then I forget. I log out of the show. I log out of life, man. Sounded more morbid than I wanted it to. Said, you said, by the grace of God, that we would have an on-air contract negotiation. And I said, okay, let's do it. You've got your list of demands. I'm willing to hear them out one by one. We'll go through each and every condition. I will do what it takes. I can't guarantee I'm going to give you everything, but I'm going to guarantee you that I'm going to listen to it. And hopefully we can, as they say in the business world, come to terms. That's later on. We're going to kick things off in a matter of moments with someone who is quickly becoming a legend on this show for a variety of reasons. Now, this guest, as opposed to being a bright and burgeoning star in the improv world, is also a photographer. Months ago, I said, look, here's the deal. I need to make money. I'm not someone who people would look at and say, this is a guy who's got income. What can I do to make income? I need to put my acting chops to good use. Because regardless of what anyone might say about me, they might say, this guy lives alone. This guy doesn't have a real job. This guy can't swim. This guy can't drive. This guy is scared at the midway point when he climbs a ladder. This guy is without someone who cares for him on a romantic level. One thing they can't say is that James McGee is a bad actor. Anyone who says that, fly a kite, suck an egg, pardon my French. How does this play into what I'm talking about? Well, if you want to get into the acting world, you have to get your acting gear. You got to get your stuff in order. Part of that is getting headshots, right? Yeah, I might be doing a bit of a Vogue here, but I'm talking about pictures, right? This person, photographer. And of course, I'm talking about Annabelle Agnew. She sat me down. She said, sit down, shut up. I'm going to take your picture, and then you're going to take it to the limit. You're going to go to the moon. The next thing you know, you're going to be cast as, Beaten Husband 3 on an episode of some cop show. In any event, why wait? Let's dig in with the person who, as I put it, made me look like a handsome prince. Folks, please welcome back to the program. It's Annabelle Agnew. Annabelle, thank you so much for being here.
Here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
We're rolling out the red carpet. You've got some music. You're doing a dance.
It's been a while since I heard that song.
There we go. Now, this song, for people who don't know, this is a deep cut, a fixture of our sweets and treats, any type of snack-based panel show. Anytime someone comes in with their beef of the night, that's what plays. Annabelle.
A few.
Yeah. So this might be part of Dimitri returning to the show, as he wants to add more music and flair to the show. Annabelle, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Great to be here.
Now, I hope that I didn't expose too much about our, at least professional history. We sat down some months ago inside of local Greasy Spoon, also legendary, at least in the Montreal culinary world, the Green Spot. And
Totally
I said, Annabelle,
legendary.
I need your help, right? Now, what were you thinking in that moment when I was begging you to help me?
I was thinking, I hope you paid for my breakfast.
And let's be clear, I did pay for your breakfast. Right?
I didn't think that at all.
But I did. Let's
you did.
I did.
You 100% did. Yeah. No, I knew I was going there to talk to you about photographs. So, and I know most people have a general hate of having their photographs taken.
Why do you think that is, right? Why do you think that is?
Because I think for the most part, they don't trust the person taking their photograph, don't like how they look, and don't like seeing what's reflected back at them. And people are really hard on themselves.
Yeah, and I would say I agree. People are hard on themselves. For me, now you mentioned two things. They don't trust the person taking the photograph.
Yeah.
Or they don't like the way that they look. Now, I had full trust in you to the point that I told you, when you've got the photos, I want you to pick the headshot. I had no interest in picking the photograph. And you're like, well, I don't know about that. So I had full faith in you. Now, here's the thing. On this little program, I like to be self-deprecating. The thing is, I've got quite the ego.
I know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not how I look that bothers me. It's how I look in certain settings where I feel like I am presenting an inauthentic version of myself. Annabelle, look, you've known me for about 2 years now.
Generally, has it been 2 years?
It's been, we're going on 2 years. Happy anniversary. I would say that if you closed your eyes, you'd say, this is essentially what this guy wears every time I flip and see him.
Yeah, but I also know that you're more comfortable looking like a goober, as you've called me, than you do anyway else. So
yeah, well, I don't know if I've ever called myself a goober.
Well, I'm calling you a goober now.
Okay, well, that's for another program. I would never claim goober status, right?
All
When I think
right.
of a goober, I think of someone who might be like, oh my, look, there's a bunch of frogs. Let's touch them and pick them up, right? I'd never do that, right? I look at
Okay.
myself, I'm a Tony Hawk pro skater who doesn't
Right.
skateboard, right?
Right.
It's going to be a black hoodie, black pants, some form of a flannel,
That's
right?
right.
We
That's
took
who you
these
are.
photos. I brought all these clothes that I frankly, I couldn't stand. And they were my own clothes.
So you couldn't stand the clothes that you brought to the headshot session.
Yes, the clothes that I picked that belonged to me, I was like, what is this? What have I done? Right? What have I done?
Well, why do you own those clothes if you hate them so much?
Oh, look, you never know when you're going to get invited to a wedding or a funeral.
Sure.
Now,
And then you're going to wear a shirt you hate?
well, yeah, you're not going to wear your good stuff in a time of mourning, right? Now, here's the deal, Annabelle. I want to ask, because we didn't talk about this. People might be saying, oh, they did a wrap up, everything. What were you thinking that I was thinking during the process of having my photograph taken? Because at the time, I was very cognizant of the fact that I was giving off very uncomfortable energy.
Yeah, I thought that you were uncomfortable and that you were trying to be comfortable
Yes. Yeah.
and like really listening to me. So you were
Yes.
really listening and really trusting of me, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And took
I
all the
believe that I
direction that I
told you.
gave you.
I believe I told you.
Yeah.
I love being bossed around when it comes to
Yes.
situations like this. I
Yes,
love
you were like
direction.
boss me around.
Yes, I
So
love direction. Whether I'm on
yeah.
future movie sets, I love having a director. It takes
Yeah.
all of the decision making out of your hands. You just do what they tell you to do, and you're like, thank God Almighty. Yeah.
Yes, and people do things unconsciously because they don't want their photograph taken. So they do specific things with their body uh, to try and like resist the photo being taken.
Yeah.
So I have to direct, and you took that direction well.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I said this to you before we went on air that when we were done, I was convinced these photos are going to be unusable. I said it to a couple people and they said, what did they, you don't think they turned out the way that you wanted them to? Like, was it not the right energy? I said, no. Photographer, I'm sure, was great. This is a James problem. They're like,
and
what
was,
do you mean?
yeah, what do you mean?
I thought, like, I was thinking to myself, I felt like someone who you get to your first day of work and they're like, we like to take a picture of our new employees and we're going to send this out on our daily end of day email, because I've been a part of that too.
Yeah.
And my photo, my last office job was this. Got sent out to everyone. Right. What a shameful embarrassment. It reminded me of class picture day. And they said, so wait, you're telling me that you think these photos are going to be unusable because of you? I said, yeah, that's I felt that I had wasted all of your valuable time. Right.
And almost got my car stuck in the snow as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Prior to you decided you wanted to drive into a snowbank, but I mean, look, I'm not taking any credit for that. But this was, to me, what was, because again, this was very cosmic. You sent me today I received the preview images and I thought, this is what we have to talk about. And we're going to show some of these images on the air, which to me is a perfect way for me to you sent them to me and I was scared to open them up. I was scared.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I feel the same way. If I got my photo taken recently and I was scared to open them.
Yeah, because I thought to myself, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go, who do you think you are? This isn't you. You look like a wiener boy. I was convinced.
You know what? I imagined that you were going to do that.
Yeah, and this, I think, speaks to the level of the understanding that we've come to cultivate between ourselves over the past 2 years, right? I would say, look, here's the deal. I think I'm a very relaxed person. You know, Dimitri later on might take umbrage. Some of my closest friends, I think, have now become keenly aware in situations where I can go from comfortable to highly uncomfortable without changing any of my disposition. It's like they look into my soul and they can see bugs coming out of my mouth. And I think you probably read that, which means that I don't have as good of a poker face in most situations as I'd like to.
Yeah, I think you have to work on your poker face a little bit.
Now I'm going to write something down here. Future
Work
show
on
topic, analysis of James. That's a great, because listen, like, here's the deal. Let's just cut the crap, right? Everyone talks about each other.
Yeah.
We're all talking, and all you can do is hope that it's not bad, right? You got to like, you leave a conversation. It's like, I hope I didn't upset Dimitri tonight. I hope I didn't upset Annabelle, right? And they're doing it to us. There's probably situations where it's like, I really think that James was really pissed off at me tonight. And then the reality is, Woody, I wasn't mad at all, right? You apologized to me earlier today.
I sort of apologized.
Yeah.
I just sort of apologized. We were talking about other things, but
we can talk about that, right? You claimed a couple nights ago that people surround me.
They do.
Yeah.
You have like a literal fan club around you.
And this
after every show.
Here's the thing. I would never dare call it a fan club. I see, Dimitri's coming into tonight's show a little ornery. He's shaking his head. He's squinting his eyes like an old man spotting a bowl of borscht coming into his sight.
Maybe he's jealous.
Dimitri, this guy's got a fan club of all the teeny boppers, Dimitri's got a fan club. They're just not of age, right? My key demographic is 37 to 50. That's my key. That's
I fit in there. I should be a part of that fan club.
Many people fit in there, and this is not an insult, right? You're claiming I have a fan club of people that surround me, right? Yes. I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to be doing? Putting an autograph on someone's bare back one of these days?
You know what? I bet that's going to happen real soon.
Yeah, and that would be a problem, right? And then you brought this up, and then today you checked in. Like, I hope that wasn't weird. I said, Annabelle, there's no problem whatsoever. As they say in Terminator 2, no problemo.
Do they actually say that? Are you sure they say that?
Yeah. People say they've been saying no problemo because of Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
No, that's not true.
I think it is. Be true. Well, we don't have to turn this into a fight.
Okay.
Right? We don't have to turn it into a fight. But what I do want to do is we're going to see some of these photos here. Now, before we do this, again, Annabelle, you took these photos. Before we get into it, I would like for you to take the opportunity to promote your work, right? We like to promote people's work and their art and their crafts and things like that. So tell us a little bit about what you do, where people can find you before we start making fun of James.
Sure. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer. You can find me at myname.com.
Now, for people who it's not myname.com, it's ANNABELLEAGNEW.com.
Yes.
You get some other people on this show. They couldn't spell their way out of a wet paper bag.
You spelled my name right. Most people don't. That's right.
That's why I'm a great speller. We've got coming in from the chat. Thomas Barnwell claims that he's outside of my key demographic. That's great. Thomas Barnwell, if there's anyone who treats me like an MF and human being, it's this Barnwell guy. I've talked. I walk into the green room one day. He's picking on me. He's making fun of me. I loved it. So Annabelle, we're going to see 4 of these selected photos here.
Ooh, okay.
Now, if you're watching right now on Twitch, but you've got your eyes diverted, please bring your eyes back to the screen. We're going to be showing some of these photos. So we're going to bring photo number 1 up as Thomas Barnwell tells me to shut up live in the chat. Here we go. This is photo number 1. Now,
okay,
Annabelle, I think this is James, the more serious side of James right now. People might be shocked when they see this and they go, wait a minute, this guy's got hair.
Yeah. Well, yes, right. It's a huge reveal.
It is a huge reveal. It just happens to be under my hat. I got a haircut before this. The day before this photo was taken, I was complaining that they did it too short. Very concerned about my haircut in this picture. I paid to have another man shave my beard. This is the first photo. I was elated. You gave me permission to wear one of my favorite flannel shirts, right? Annabelle, take me through what you think about this photo.
Well, I thought that it would be weird to not photograph you in the shirts that we all know you in. So, so I thought it was really important that we got you in at least one of your favorite shirts.
Yeah.
Seeing as you brought all clothes that you hated. I really like this. We I'm sorry, I'm like distracted because I'm looking at the photo. I'm seeing myself, so I'm like freaked out.
Yep.
Okay. So let me look here. Oh my God. What I really loved about this
Annabelle,
is that the first
Annabelle, I want to check. You're getting
yeah,
overwhelmed. What's going on here, Annabelle?
yeah, it's because I'm seeing myself talking in the 10-second lapse behind.
Yeah, that's
and
the thing. You got to drown it out. Pros like us, we don't even it occurs to us not at all.
See, exactly. Whereas with photographs, I have no problem doing it, but here I'm like completely thrown. Anyway, okay. So with this photograph, I really liked it because the first series of photographs we did, I thought you were pretty uncomfortable. And we agreed that possibly you felt like a math teacher.
Yeah.
And
so I believe the first photo I was wearing like a very thin sweater with like a collared shirt coming out. I thought I looked like a substitute teacher who maybe had some type of disorder, for lack of a better term, who was an 80-year-old man that was trapped in a 34-year-old man body, but he still dressed like a fuddy-duddy.
Right. I think that was your energy while I was photographing you. I think I got a couple that are good, which you'll eventually receive. But when you sat in this shirt, it was a lot more comfortable and the light was really nice on you right there. So I knew at this point that I had a good shot of you.
Now,
and
I
this
is
check early in.
And this is the thing. I think there is a genius behind that method. Like, let's get James into his more comfortable clothes before we get him back into the clothes where he feels like he's nude. Let's go to the chat. From Thomas Barnwell, he writes, quote, "Say what you will about James, but that's a portrait that shows his sensitive side." That's an interesting review. I like that. From Naive Adventures, just one of the all-time nicest, she says 5 stars. From the real Andrew Mackay, who is a real actor. This is a real actor we're talking about here. He says, quote, "That's a heck of a headshot, James, looking good." But then he writes, "Next math teacher on Degrassi." Now, when I saw this one today, I thought stepdad trying to assert his disciplinarian side, right? Like, son, I want you to call me dad from now on.
I don't think of that. I get the stepdad thing. I think you and I talked about that a little bit. And there is a stepdad vibe.
What?
But, you know,
do I give off stepdad energy?
Maybe. I mean, you're the one that said it yourself, and I just agreed with you.
I will say that I do think I have fatherly qualities. I will say that.
Yeah. And there's a certain level of confidence in this photo, I think.
Okay.
Like, you relaxed a little bit and you had some confidence.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you look like relaxed and you're happy to have your photograph taken, which is a hard look to get.
All right. Now this segment is frankly going a different direction because I intended on belittling myself in all of these.
I know.
And I have to say that I'm feeling the love. How about we move on to the next photo now that I've done that little voice? Also, this is another great review. I'm changing the segment. I want everyone in the chat to indicate what you think this photo is. Again, from Naive Adventures, might be the comment of the night. This looks like a picture for a political campaign. I'm running for municipal office. Hopefully, probably for not something that is a conspiratorial. We're moving on to the next photo here. Now, this one, earlier on when I showed this to Dimitri, he said, this could be an oil painting.
That's what I love about it.
Great.
Uh-huh. But I thought when I put it in there, I was like, he's going to hate this one, but I love it.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't love or hate it. I would say that this one appeals to me from a comedic standpoint. When I saw this one, the first thing that popped into my mind was, if En Route magazine, which is the airline magazine for Air Canada, I believe, if I got famous and they did a feature on me, this might be what they use as part of the kind of the story. And it's like the 5 places James needs to eat when he's in Chicago.
Yes.
Coming in from the chat, courtesy of Thomas Barnwell, he writes, "Sinister James." So this one gives off satanic vibes. And this is a problem because this is not the first time that someone has referred to me as having sinister energy. Now that I'm looking at it, there is something devil-esque about this photo.
I don't know, maybe devilishly handsome, because I think you look quite handsome in that photo. Oh no. What happened?
Guys, lock up your wives because this spring James is handsome. As I sink into the depth, the sexy depths of hell. Yeah. Annabelle, you were saying?
I think that's all I was saying.
That's your landing. That's what we're landing on, right? So now this is the thing. I don't know if I would classify it as a headshot, but this is like, I look like a cover boy here.
I can see this like in a gallery. I don't want to up my skills too much, but I really do feel like it's a painting. And when I sent this to you, I was like, this is obviously not the one he's going to choose for work, but I still really like it.
Now this is I understand why you'd be like, I sent this to James, he's gonna hate it. I actually enjoyed this picture. There's more reviews, guys. Keep sending these in. These make me laugh. Naive Adventures, she's gonna refine what I've meant for En Route magazine. She writes, comedian, that's a very kind compliment referring to me as a comedian, shares his favorite spots when he visits St. Henry. Then we've got from, again, Real Andrew Mackay. That's definitely a plenty of fish profile picture. So again, giving me my demographic. I don't know if a lot of youngsters are on Plenty of Fish. Thomas Barnwell writes, quote, or a star of Laval Lights Opera Company, Mr. James McGee. Again, Andrew Mackay, look like you could be selling a lovely cologne. And then Annabelle, a compliment for you from Naive Adventures. It's a really good picture. This does look like a cologne photo. That one, I believe we have nailed it.
Yes.
7,000 points to my friend Andrew. Yeah. It'll be like, give him what he really wants this holiday season, a lovely cologne.
Yeah, it's a real
scent
sort of thespian photo, maybe.
Yeah, my cologne would be a Steamies.
That's a good one. Yeah. I like that type.
Yeah, I'd have Steamies. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to our next photo here. We're gonna see how people kind of classify this one. This is officially one of my favorite segments of 2022. We've moved on to our next photo. Now, I saw this one, and again, I thought to myself, I could win the award for most wrinkled shirt in Canada.
I haven't waited pretty long.
It's I am swimming in this shirt. This is young man needs to go to school dance, rummages through father's closet, finds some, and this is the thing. This shirt, this is a small. That's a small. It might be a small from the Big and Tall store. This is the thing, though. From maybe like the chest up,
it works. Yes, I think so too. I think it's a great pose as well. It's a very confident pose. And like, if we're talking about posing in headshots, it's difficult because everyone will feel cheesy if they kind of go like this, or, you know what I mean? Like everyone's aware of those cheesy poses. So finding your comfort and where you actually like look confident is important. And I think that works here. And also I wanted to move away from total backdrop because that felt too school photo. So I really do like this angle as well.
Now I'm curious to know, at the time, were you like, I don't know, I don't think I can tell James how wrinkled he is right now.
No, you know what? You saw me. I was balancing like a reflector disc. I had the camera. I had the light. I was like, I need an assistant. This is so annoying. But I didn't pay attention to your shirt. I just wanted to make more sure that I had your eyes in focus. Yeah, which is the most important part.
This really speaks, I believe, to the level of your professionalism and commitment to doing a good job. The level of wrinkliness to that shirt did not throw you off. Because when I saw this, the first thing I noticed was not my face. It was, holy smokes, this thing needs an ironing. Coming in from the chat, Thomas Barnwell writes, quote, untucked, unironed.
It didn't look that wrinkled in person, I have to say. I think it's just the way you're sitting in this photo that it looks a little bit wrinkly.
Yeah, but it's astonishing to me that this is a small, right? I bought this at Old Navy. I don't know what's going on. Their smalls are everywhere else's larges. I put it on and I feel like I'm inside of a tent.
Right. Yeah. I like that shirt on you. I'm just going to compliment you and make you feel really good.
Annabelle, it's fine because I've been doing nothing but complimenting your craft here. Coming in from the chat, this one from Naive Adventures, Love Guru Masterclass. Now, here's the thing. If there's anyone, and I mean anyone, who's not providing a class on love, it's me. Coming in from the chat, courtesy of Devin, quote, it's like he borrowed his neighbor's shirt for a school dance. So in Devin's reality, I don't, much like in real life, I don't have a dad, so I can't borrow it from my daddy. I borrowed it from a neighbor. So Devin's coming in hot with that. He's course corrected my own criticism of myself.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing about this shirt. Not a shirt I feel comfortable in. I think it's very clear what we're gleaming from this conversation is I need to expand on what I wear. I get very comfortable in frankly, it's a costume, right?
Yes, we all have our
yes.
our uniform that we wear, but we feel mostly comfortable in.
Yeah. I get to the point, Annabelle, over the holidays, I went to a Christmas party. I wore a cardigan. Someone said, "Are you just coming back from a wedding?" It's like, well, I can't wear a cardigan anymore because everyone's going to comment on me, right?
Right.
And then
I mean, I don't know. I wore jogging pants on a plane 2 weeks ago because I thought that I was going to go for comfort. I hated it. I hated every second of it. I'll never do that again.
Oh, I will wear nothing but jogging pants on a flight. We'll go to Thomas Barnwell before we move on to our fourth and final photo that we're going to feature tonight. He says the urban lumberjack. And this is great. I've been referring to myself on stage to many audiences as a little lumberjack throughout the years. So I'm glad that my lumberjack, he says little, I say little, he says urban. I oftentimes also say malnourished lumberjack. Right?
All right.
Well,
all
Annabelle,
right.
It's kind
I
of
don't have anything to say about that.
It's kind of you that you didn't jump on the self-loathing, which is again all in jest. We're going to move on to our fourth and final photo. Now, a couple people have already said, James, this is the one. This is the one, and I would have never picked it. This is why I need someone to boss me around for life decisions. We've moved on to our final photo. It's black and white. It's serious.
Oh, I know it.
And dare I say, sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reviews are in. Again, Annabelle, I would have never, ever picked this.
But it's great. And you know why? It's because your mouth is a little relaxed in that photo.
And this was the main directive you were giving me the entire time. Relax your mouth.
Yeah.
Which is also what my dentist was telling me 2 days before. So I carry a lot of stress here, right? Yeah. A couple other reviews. I think it was something in the sense that I've got some plans. That's what is being read from my eyes. I've got like a secret, or I'm up to something.
Yeah, it's like there's like a good sort of characterness in this shot. You're not just like a bland photo. There's like something really direct about it. Also, the eyes are great. And let's talk about your eyes for a second, because I talked to you about it this morning.
You checked in about my eyes, and I often refer to my eyes as emotionless or dead.
No, but they're fascinating because the color, which I've never really noticed before because you're always behind glasses, are green and gray, but like not mixed. There's like little bits of all of that in your eyes. They're really cool.
So coming in from the chat, we've got, again, Naive Adventures. Yes. Then we've got Thomas Barnwell, The Money Shot, which I thought was reserved mostly for adult features. And again, from real life actor Andrew Mackay, You Look So Ambitious, which is the first time anyone has ever said that to me.
That was the goal, though.
Annabelle, so do you think this is the one? I think this is the one.
Now, and I was curious if whether or not we should do this one. Like, I can make it in color as well.
Now this is something now Dimitri, for as much tension as he and I have had over the past month or so, beneath kind of angry breath, he's like, no, I'd like to see one in color, you know?
Yeah. I think that will be what will happen when I deliver the rest of them, is I'll give you that one in color too.
Now you're saying that there's more to come?
Oh yeah, this was just a preview.
But Annabelle, here's the thing. What I'm putting in this spot, what happens? Are all these pictures belong to me now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like all of the ones I give you belong to you.
Yeah. Wow.
You can
I
do
almost feel
whatever
like
you want.
we have to do the ones that were just so bad that you're like, this is going right into the garbage.
I can save a few that are not as great, and we could do a review of
Here's the thing.
those.
Those are the ones I'm not sure that I want to see. The ones that'll be like,
I know. Yeah, there's a few
right?
of them.
Now coming in from the chat, we've got again, Naive Adventures, main character in a Harlequin book. So again, this one I think it implies a lot, right? I feel like I'm
like a Fabio.
I'm the new I'm part of the kind of the movement that was like normalize Fabio, make them look more like they're starving, right? I'm like, we're tired of being depicted as the men who get the sand kicked in their face at the beach.
No, this is going to be the photo you're handing out with your fan club at the end of every show.
Yeah, these are going to be the ones that I sign. That's right. That's a funny idea. You know, the people are going to see that. The people that don't like me, like the audacity of this guy. And then I'm going to say, you know what? Haters going to hate, but graders going to grade. Coming in from Andrew Mackay, quote, I've known you for 30 years. And this is the most attracted I've ever been to you, which the part of I like the most is that it implies that he has had some attraction to me. So again, look, this is high praise. This is a handsome man we're talking about over here.
Yeah.
Thomas Barnwell writes, the black and white photo gives you a sense of gravitas. Guys, this is you know, I'm feeling it tonight.
I love this. I love it.
Modern Fabio. Now we've got to move over, Matthew McConaughey. Lincoln has a new spokesperson.
Yes.
And this is the thing. Frankly, I'm looking for voice work where these photos will be like, I don't care what this guy looks like. This guy could have a Hitler mustache, but his voice is great.
Just wait. Now all of those deals are gonna, or whatever contracts are gonna come your way.
Yeah, we know. I'm gonna tell you, we know what contracts are coming our way, and they sound like this. It sounds a little something. Yeah, who's gonna hire me? It's gonna be don't forget to stop by your local participating Couche-Tard where 2 liters of milk is on sale for $2.99. That's what I'm going to be doing, right?
Here we go. Money.
Yes.
Wow, are you getting played out? I think Annabelle. Well, Annabelle, look, we've gone through all the photos. Again, I went from finishing this photo shoot feeling like a 1 on 10, and now I've skyrocketed to a record 4 on 10.
4? Come on.
Annabelle,
I think you look great in these photos, James.
I appreciate that. The credit goes to you. People can find you at AnnabelleAgnew.com, www.AnnabelleAgnew.com. I gave that entire URL with a burp break in the middle.
Yep. It must, it's a long name. I get it.
It's a long name, but it comes with gravitas.
Yes. If you want gravitas,
website. You go to the website or you look at me in photos. Annabelle, thanks so much for being here. This is great.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
That's Annabelle Agnew, which this may have been a record-setting segment in terms of length of a conversation. 44 minutes. Never got boring. Never. Look, guys, you've been watching this show for 2 years. I think you know when I get bored during a show. And that was not it. Look, we started with such energy, and I'm frankly a little nervous about what's to come. If you're just tuning in, about 4 weeks ago, Dimitri put in his notice so that he's moving on to bigger and brighter things. He can no longer tech the show. Of course, with a notice, it's a little bit flexible, right? We haven't had Friday shows, so I would like to imagine that his notice is carried over. This is going to be a first time ever in at-home history. This is a contract negotiation where Dimitri is going to give me his list of demands in order to keep him as part of the at-home team. We're called the homeowners around here. So let's please welcome back to the program for the first time in a long time, Dimitri Kyres. Dimitri, how's it going?
Pretty good, James. It's nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
It's nice to see you too, Dimitri. Look, again, prior to getting on the air, you were a little bit coarse with me, but you did have some nice things to say about the picture. So before we get into kind of the negotiation, I thought it would be good to, create a bit of a rapport and indicate to people that, we do have a friend and a friendly relationship, or at least we had, I hope to say, and I like to think.
Yeah. I could say that. Yeah, we were friends.
Would you have lawyers there?
I brought my people with me. They're just off to the side. It's just important that I watch what I say, because it could interfere, let's say, with some contract negotiations before we.
You have people with you, so not just a person. You have persons.
I have my people with me. Yes. Just a second. You want me to say what? Okay. It's in my best interest to state that as of this moment going forward, until agreed upon by both parties, being yourself and then myself, that we are satisfied with the contract negotiations that we're about to commit to 100%. Until that moment onwards, I must say that we are not friends. And that's it. Is that what you wanted?
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, your people have recommended that you do not acknowledge that you and I are friends.
Correct. And yes. And they've notified me that well, let's just say I have been equipped. I have been equipped and given proper literature and proper nomenclature to use going forward. So I'm well equipped, just so you understand.
Look,
that I'm
I will say this. I appreciate and I respect that you've got people there who have your best interests in mind. I have your best interests in mind. I understand where they're coming from, but I want you to know that I intend to make this I want this to be easy and not a complicated business matter. I'm going to approach this without any people. This is no Zoom background, right? They're real here. This is not,
there's no
not
Zoom
Hollywood
background here. It's no Zoom background. I'm being completely
I was going to say it looks like you're coming to us from a very lavish office in a ski lodge.
Yes. Yeah, this is the bunker, as we like to call it. Presidents and a bunch of presidents have used this place when in times of crisis. So I've thankfully there's nothing going on right now in the world, so it was freed up.
All right. Well, would you like to begin? And again, I'm going to make it clear, I intend to approach this entire, meeting or appointment, whatever you want to call it, with comfort and ease. So I'm going to just be myself here.
Like I mentioned, I was well equipped beforehand. I've studied with my people here. Thank you. And given the proper nomenclature and literature to use going forward. So I'm well versed in the art of the deal. So I'm going to be going first in the number one.
You're talking about the art of the deal. You read the Donald Trump book?
I
will say that you're like kind of a better looking Eric Trump, I think. There's something Trumpish about you right now. Your hair is very young Trump. That should be your character, young Trump.
I'm not.
You look like almost the best. You look like a mix of the best of Eric Trump and the best of Don Jr. And you could be dating an Ivanka.
I'm not at we're not at risk of agreeing or disagreeing with that. So we're gonna go ahead and.
Well, I'm glad there's no risk of agreeing or disagreeing. Okay, so
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put, because it's very important that you can't read my eyes.
Okay.
Especially when I'm consulting my team here, because they could see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to.
I will say I understand why you're doing it. I don't think it's necessary, but I understand that as it pertains to not being able to read your eyes or whatever cues you might be giving off.
Correct.
Yeah.
So without further ado, James, welcome to the contract negotiation. Article 1. Let's begin with the demands. Pay. Monetary or otherwise. This is 1D that we're starting with. Article A, within 1D of pay and monetary otherwise, performance bonus increase is something that I'd like to begin with, James.
Yeah, look, I think this is something we can absolutely do. I had talked about over the past little while that once, things open up from a COVID standpoint, I want to be able to compensate people with not only some pay, but also some events. We can have dinners and things like that, and I will say, again, in the interest of keeping things loose, I do want to chat with the people talking in our chat room right now, courtesy of Andrew Mackay. This is clearly in reference to you, quote, looking like a pokerstars.net over here with the shades.
We can acknowledge that comment. We're happy with that.
All right.
Thank you, Andrew. So moving forward with monetary pay, we are looking for a bonus due on performance, quarterly, of course. Article B, we're looking for a base salary increase of 25%. And Article C of the 1D, pay monetary otherwise article, we're looking for stock options.
Okay, well, I will say that you currently get paid 0. So 25% of 0 is what?
We're not we have a problem with the 0 amount.
Okay, so you're saying you would like to begin to receive compensation. That's fair. We can discuss that.
I think
Great.
that's fair for everyone.
And I frankly, I actually think a performance bonus is a good idea.
Thank you. We agree then. We're going to be moving on, James, to our next article, of course. And that is number 2, article 2D. It's respect. A, lack of respect throughout the show's history. And 1I within the 1D of 1A clause is the acknowledging me as a collaborator of the show. From henceforth, Article 2 within the 1A 2D respect bracket is no more abusive language, and within that number 1 of the 2 is permanently banning of the words boners and blunders for texts henceforth.
Okay, so I'm curious to know, I don't recall ever exercising any name calling to you. I think it's oftentimes been on the other end, right? You've belittled me in a variety of ways, oftentimes in relation to kind of like dating or things like that. So I would agree that I should treat you with respect, and I think that if we're going to agree to these terms, it has to work both ways. Now, in regards to the terms bloopers and blunders, or excuse me, bloopers and boners.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Right.
I have used those terms. I agree to no longer, in reference to you, say was it bloopers and boners?
We're happy to go. We're happy with boners and blunders.
Okay, so but I want to say that I get to keep bloopers. I want to retain the use of bloopers.
You would like to retain the? Could we work with this? Yeah. We're happy with that. We're happy with that.
All right. Now, how do you respond to the? I mean, I think that you've really taken me into some belittling places, right? You had me engaging with some type of robot who is degrading me.
Correct.
There's been a variety of instances, right? You signed me up to dating websites without my permission.
Well, I wouldn't say without your permission.
I would.
We can acknowledge that.
Okay, let's move on.
All right. We're going to move on to Article 3. Okay, so this is interesting. Flexible work schedule. A, we're going to go ahead with no longer finding out that we're on tonight, the day of the show. With Article B within the 4D section, work holidays. James Day, Little Cutie extended weekend, St. James Baptiste at home bank holiday, and the C article within flexible work schedules is going to be vacation days, and we think this is a
I
fair
guess I'm a
compromise.
little confused because generally speaking, outside of the rare occasion, whether it's yourself, Andy, or Dave, you all have the same night, right? You've been on Fridays for well over a year now, outside of an instance like tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Andy is often on Wednesdays, Dave is often on Mondays, right? So I'll speak to that. In terms of vacation, I find it curious that you've asked me to create fake holidays as opposed to asking for real holidays off, considering we have done a show on every actual holiday. It's Christmas, New Year's Day, so on and so forth.
And that's been dreadful, to be completely frank with you. I said I wouldn't hold any punches in these contract negotiations, and I'm being serious. I would have wished to spend that time with my family, and I wish that we had those nights off, and you also created additional holidays for the days that we are performing in or producing the show.
So you want actual holidays off as well as implemented show-based holidays?
We feel this is a fine compromise, given the fact that there has been no monetary gain henceforth.
Okay, so I'm happy to specifically give you statutory holidays off.
Yeah. We didn't expect him to give us any of it. Okay. We're happy with the statutory.
Great.
Thank you.
But I will not create fake holidays.
We're happy with that. We can move forward. Very nice. So we're gonna move forward here. This next article is article 4D, and this one's pretty simple. We can really just bang this one out. This is pretty simple, James.
Well, I'd like to initiate a new article.
Okay.
Article 1 from my docket is you put that song back on.
Okay, we can yeah, go ahead.
Here, people are fine with that?
Yeah, we're fine with that. We can use the song. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to pause the song because my next article is we'd like more of this song to be played, and I think you'd be happy to know. Oh, sorry, not that song. We'd like this song to be played more often.
I couldn't agree more.
Really?
We're 100% on the same page.
Okay, yeah, we're happy on.
Yes,
okay,
yeah, we're very happy.
We're really happy on our end. Thank
I'm
God,
very happy
because this
that.
was a non-negotiable for me to be
It's
fully
non-negotiable
transparent with
for
you.
me.
Okay, I'm really happy about that.
We're
I'm
getting
really
somewhere.
happy about
I'm
this.
also very happy.
Okay, because you won't like what it comes next. Article 5D, Greek Culture Night. A within the
Wait,
5.
well, hold on. I wouldn't like that. Are you trying to say that I have something against Greek people?
You said that. I didn't. He said that.
You immediately led in with, you're not going to like this. Why would I not like it?
You said that and not me. Is
No,
that on the record?
Yes. It's going to be in the video on demand in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes.
Greek Culture Night. A night of pride for Greek culture. Spanakopita, Terma Salata, Arni, yelling, pita plates, garlic sauce, dirty aprons. And this...
Okay. I agree to that on one condition.
Yes?
Well, your dad appears on Greek Culture Night.
Is he available? We're just gonna get him on the phone in a minute to confirm that, but for now we can proceed with that's fine with us.
Great.
Okay, this is going great. We're gonna keep going here. Article 6. Benefits. Health, dental, drugs, pleasure. This is one within the 6D column.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean pleasure?
Carpal tunnel syndrome is something that all techs are going through, and right now, you wouldn't like me going out. Much like the NFL and concussions, James, you wouldn't like that info getting out. So let's just say this is an aggressive contract negotiation tactic that I'm engaging with right now. I'm blackmailing you.
Well, I appreciate that you're owning that you're blackmailing me, but again, what do you mean by pleasure?
You know, benefits of pleasure.
Yeah, well, it just sounded like, as you said, dental and medical, and then you added pleasure. And I think there's a connotation to that. So I'm asking you
that
as
you an employee of the show, you
demand pleasure.
I'm a talent, and I need to be protected. Much like the carpal tunnel in my wrists and forearms, I need to be. These are my tools. Do you agree?
You're not explaining what you mean by pleasure.
I'm getting to the pleasure, but I need to understand. For you to understand the context first. But then I'll explain what the pleasure is. Would you agree? Would you agree that these are my tools?
Yes, I would.
You would say that on record, that these are my tools?
I just did.
And on henceforth, moving forward, would you say if these were damaged, I'd be unable to do my job?
Of course.
Okay, so then don't you feel as an employer that you need to...
Well, technically, I'm not an employer because I don't pay you anything.
But henceforth going forward, this is something that we've agreed to in the clause 1A.
Yeah, correct. I've agreed to pay you 25% of zero.
But we also never discussed the stock options, which is something that you...
Well, this show is not on the stock market. This doesn't trade on the TSX.
But you did say that a monetary gain would be something in the cards. You did. Can we?
It's in the cards. Yeah, 25% of zero.
Great. So on top of that percent, that we'll say for now is zero, but it might be different later on.
All right. So this is what I'm willing to tell you right now is that I'm willing to look at some form of benefits, pleasurable or otherwise, that fit within a show budget of zero.
Okay, we can circle back to this because I didn't get to the pleasure part, and you might be interested in that. We're gonna come. Okay, so moving forward, be careful because this is where it gets aggressive. Sexuality. AD.
Nothing says sexuality in a contract negotiation like xylophone music.
8D. Sexuality. The A clause of 8D sexuality. James has to proceed with a sexual engagement. Article 1 of A, hot sex demanded to make up for decades of nothing.
Wait, hold on. What was that condition? Read that again.
Hot sex demanded to make up for decade of nothing.
A decade?
Article 2 within the A column of 8D clause is it's been too long and the people deserve this.
Okay, so
we think this is fair from on our end.
Well, I would argue that this is really inappropriate in the workplace, right? So one of your conditions is that you demand, again, your words that you just spoke on the record.
These are our words for the
record.
You
demand that I have not only a sexual encounter, but it has to be a hot sexual encounter because, quote, the people need it.
Yeah, and we have experts. We have experts. And we're ready to pay. We're ready to make sure that it's hot.
Well, what do you mean the people need it? Can you expand on that, please?
I think that this is something that you've been teasing in the show for far too long, and enough is enough.
What have I been teasing?
You've been teasing the fact that you're a little cutie. That I have, and you brought this up earlier today, that I put you on dating apps against your will, saying that you were alone. You just off the top today, you just said, you can call me many things. We can roll it back, but I'm paraphrasing going forward right now. You can call me many things. Alone was one of them. Not sexually engaging in the moment.
I never said. I never claimed that off the top of the show.
Finish the quote. An actor is not one is a thing that you can't call me because you are an actor. So that was used today.
Okay,
just
fair.
Today.
Fair. That's true. I have a history of acting. You're right.
And we believe that this is enough is enough. We would like you to get this over with. Quit teasing.
Now, what do you mean specifically? It has to be hot. What does that mean? What would imply not hot?
I'm not at will. We're not at liberty to go into the.
Well, how can I honor this condition if you're not willing to explain what differentiates hot from not?
We'd be satisfied on our end if obviously both partners were happy upon the ending of the engagement. Obviously, that's very important. Happy in the sense that everybody was clearly satisfied.
Hold on,
let me second. You're interrupting me right
this whole time. I want to say something. What if not everyone reaches an ending? That doesn't necessarily mean that people are not happy, right? Happens all the time.
We don't want to go forward with that assumption that people who don't reach finality are not satisfied with the engagement. Obviously, sexuality is very complex. So we all have
very fluid.
We'd be very happy on our end right now. We'd be very happy on our end if obviously both parties, it's option. We're going to say optional for both parties to be finishing. But we'd be making sure that you were at least a little sweaty.
So it has to be sweaty.
We're thinking we'd like this to be a summer activity because we don't have time to waste anymore. So as early as June.
One of the sweatier months.
And we'd like this to be a sweaty affair, and if possible.
Now hold on, when you say affair, are you saying that the situation as an affair, or that I need to participate in an affair?
We'd be happy on our end if it was any kind of sexual engagement. Now, here's what I'm going to say to you, and I'm just going off the script, sorry, gentlemen. We'd be even more happy if it was more of a risque engagement. And yes, affair would fall under that clause.
Okay, so is that because it would fall under it's more hot?
It might be more hot. But
I'm gonna say this, that I don't think I'm gonna be participating in an affair. I wouldn't want anyone to bear the brunt of that.
It was optional. It was optional at first. So we really demand the bare basics here. We demand that it's a hot night. We demand that there's lots of laughing, pleasure, moans, noises, sweaty. The window is closed, steam, a handprint, and 45 and up.
Wait, okay, I want you to address that last part, please.
We feel, well, this one I threw in for you. That clause.
For me?
The gentleman
what do you mean for me?
The gentleman over here, the team over here didn't want me to put it in, but I wanted to give you that for the respect that you've shown me and the opportunities you've given me on this program.
Yeah, again, so there's this narrative on this show that I will only date older women.
I can increase it to 50.
But it's
no problem for us.
Increase it to however you want, but I'm going to say that I have no issue with people older than me, and I want to use my words very carefully here, younger than me, but age appropriate. There's no preference one or the other.
Yeah, I can look. I can take it off. I put that there for you because I think that would be fair.
I want to initiate a motion to continue to detail the specifics without derailing tonight.
Okay, motion passed.
Okay, so no. Okay, so that one was all about having, quote, hot sexual interaction. What's next?
Okay, so we're gonna move forward. We're almost done here. Almost. Article 9D. Call your mother more often. Clause A of Article 9D. She loves you, and it's hard to see two people grow apart.
Okay, so I want to examine this. One, I don't quite know why you had to put this one immediately after the hot sex one.
I'm not privy to the.
Okay, well, fair enough. Whether I believe that or not is another thing. Number two, I speak with my mother on a daily basis. You're saying that I have to call my mother more than once a day?
We'd be happy with that on our end. We just feel that she's not only a valued participant in the show, a valued content creator in the show in how much she comes up in conversation, but more importantly, a valued viewer. And the fact that she's your mother just makes it even more sad that you don't call her that much.
Well, how often do you call your mother?
Every day. Sometimes twice.
It sounds like we're on the same schedule. So what would you determine as not that much?
3 times a day is something we'd be happy with.
3 times a day.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I don't think my mother wants to hear from me 3 times a day.
Well, we haven't contacted her.
I feel like in order to accomplish this, we're gonna have to loop her into the conversation at a later date. Is that agreeable?
We can motion for that to green light.
Okay.
Yeah. Come to the last article.
Okay.
James McGee. Article 10. I'd like you to put my name on the show.
In what way?
If you want me back on tonight's program, I want you to put my name on the show, At Home with James, with Dimitri Kyres, and I want you to give me the thing I always wanted. My name on the show, and you bringing me out in the first ever at-home live event.
Okay, so you want your name to be part of the show branding. At Home with James with Dimitri Kyres. I don't even have my last name. It's part of the show.
Yeah.
Frankly, I tend to refer to the show mostly as At Home because it feels a little, egomaniacal. But look, I named the show. It is what it is.
I just feel like I've contributed so much over the years. How many episodes have I done, James?
Well, I can actually check in on that right now.
Dude,
I can check in right now. We're gonna do this is not a joke. This is an official. This is your 85th appearance on At Home with James.
85 times. A grasshopper shy of 100.
Well, it's tough, right?
Take your time, please. Take a walk around the room.
Does this mean that on Monday it's going to be At Home with James featuring Dave Kaufman, so on and so forth?
You bet your ass.
I'm curious about the second part. Talk about a live show. What do you mean by that?
Well, going in further into the clause, there has been a lack of accountability on this show. Your accountability, for that matter. How many times have you brought on Weird Week, Cowboy Night, Mr. At Home with James, a live show, and there has been no accountability throughout the 85 times that I've been on this show? And you know what? I've consulted the other techs, and they all say the same thing. That man cannot keep his word. So going forward, we want Cowboy Night. We want Mr. At Home with James. We want Weird Week. And we're going to get a live show, James. Perhaps my music is not enticing enough.
So you're saying you want me to honor the promises I've made, and I'll agree. I've dropped the ball on a number of things, like you mentioned, Weird Week, Mr. At Home with James. We were going to do a vape all-stars night.
That's right, James. Glorious, fantastical, mesmerizing ideas.
You bring up a live show, right? The question is this a show that you can do in front of people?
Take a walk around the room.
Do the people even want that sort of thing?
Take a walk around the room. We're willing. We have the patience of a nun.
All right. I'm gonna take a walk.
Take a walk around the room. Think about it. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, no, he's gonna bite. He's gonna bite. He's a softie. That's the thing about James. But he's a good guy. He's a softie. I think we got him. He's a bit of a. Well, the thing about James is, he's a guy. Come here, come to me. The thing about James is that he values our friendship more than the show, and that's something I want to exploit. You know what I mean? Something I want to exploit. What are you getting for lunch today? What do you have? Tuna sandwich? Is that catered? It's catered tuna sandwich.
All right, I think I know.
Okay, he's coming back. He's coming back. All right.
Let me get comfortable.
Yeah, take your time. Oh, you son of a bitch. What are you doing?
I'll give you Weird Week. I'll give you Cowboy Night. Give you Mr. At Home with James. And maybe, just maybe, I'll give you that live show.
And what about the name?
I want something in return. I want you, over the course of however long it takes, in return for the name on the show, to purchase me 150 cups of coffee.
So we talk to my people real quick? Just like talking to my people? I'm not going to do that. I do not have the financial power to do that. Okay, what do? We did this because we wanted my name on the show. We wanted my name on the... Yeah, well, what do you want me to do? I consulted with my team. We're willing to negotiate. We're willing to forego the name and the coffee in exchange for Weird Week, Cowboy Night, Mr. At Home, and a live show.
I'm gonna add the guaranteed Greek culture night.
And I want Greek culture night.
I'll give it to you. We'll do it around Greek Easter,
April. It's coming up.
like regular Easter.
Well, there's two different Easters. This is the thing, James. You don't know Greek. Okay, I'm gonna calm myself down before I get crazy here, but we're happy with this.
I'm happy with it.
We're happy with this.
We have a deal. We have a deal?
I think we're happy with this, but I want to make something clear.
Mm-hmm.
I want your signature on this. Your accountability is something that I can't tolerate anymore, so I'm sorry, I can't just take a friendly handshake on this one. I need your signature.
You'll get my signature. You'll get it.
All right. Well then, if that's the case, James, I could take these off. Because my friend, you and me, let's just say we're back in business, James. Yeah. And you know how to celebrate that?
I hope you're thinking what I'm thinking.
I'm glad to be back, James.
You were thinking what I was thinking.
That was crazy.
Look, I was scared. I was scared for a second.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
There's no team over here.
I thought that was the case, but then, it was a great negotiation tactic.
No team over here. There's no team. I was talking to nobody.
And I'll tell you what, those glasses that I were wearing, they were improvised. They didn't exist.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
You know what, Dimitri, I want to add one more thing before we call it a night. That name thing, it was a sticking point. So what if we start giving you guys, specifically you, more responsibility? What if you close out tonight's show? You wrap it up, right? Because I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm going to be back on Wednesday night. How about you close it out for us tonight?
I'd appreciate that, James. How about we do it together, huh? Here we go. Folks, I want to thank Annabelle Agnew for coming in. She was fantastic. And those photos, boy, oh boy, they were fantastic. So if you're looking for headshots, if you're looking for wedding shots, if you're looking for any kind of shots, why don't you go over to Annabelle Agnew's website over there and check her out. And James, I'll pass off the rest to you, because I can't say that last part as good as you do.
For Dimitri Kyres, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. I know that it can be uncomfortable when you're in the same room, let alone watching over the internet. Two people go back and forth in this tug of war, so to speak. So we appreciate you sitting through that very tense moment, also giving us great comment and conversation in the chat room tonight. As I mentioned, we will be back on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I am James. That is Dimitri. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.
Adios.